I want to give you my college football playoff predictions for what I think is a really unique college football playoff run this year. So I'll switch to the screen share here. Hold on. Got to let me run the board. We're running the board. Here we go. That's what we want. You got to give me a minute. Listen, I'm running the board. You got to give me a minute here to figure all this out. All right, here we go. So college football playoff predictions. I'll zoom in so you guys can actually see this. There we go. Zoom in a little more, maybe. There we go. All right. I post these every week. I'll post it after the show. I actually haven't tweeted them out yet. You see, I have them all here. Like I update them every week. I guess those numbers got weird. That's supposed to be number one, obviously. You know how. So I do this every week. I write a little blurb every week. I got to write my blurb. I haven't wrote my blurb yet. But this is where I'm at. College football playoff predictions after week 7. I have Ohio State as my number one team. I think Ohio State is the best team in college football. They have the best defense in college football. I don't really think it matters if Julian Sayin is the best quarterback in college football because Will Howard won a national championship with this team last year. So, unfortunately, people are going to hate it because they want parity and they want new, fresh blood, but Ohio State's the best, guys. You just got to deal with it, right? You can either be mad about it or you can make money from it. So, again, this is not my poll. This is not my AP poll. This is how I think the college football playoff field will shake out. So it's my top 12 teams in the CFP. I have Miami number 2 as my ACC champion. Now, if Miami drops a game at any point, I still think they're going to be the ACC champs, but at that point, I probably would put Bama in front of them. I think Bama's going to lose at least one more game this year. I do. It's a tough road. It really is. I actually, no, I'll rephrase that. I think Bama will lose one more time this year. I don't know when, but I think Bama will lose one more game this year. And I still think they go to the SEC championship game. I think they will win the SEC championship game. I think they'll be a top 4 seed in the college football playoff. I think Ty Simpson is your Heisman Trophy winner. You heard it here first. I bet it at 17-1 a couple weeks ago. It was during the Georgia game. I got it at 17-1. He's the best quarterback in college football. He is QB1. Especially from the neck up. Indiana. Man, what a win for them at Oregon. Really impressive. You got to obviously drop Oregon. I dropped them to 8th in the rankings this week. The rest of it's pretty much all SEC. People are going to hate that. Georgia, A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Those are the 4 SEC at-large teams that I have right now. I do not think... So last year... So here's where things will get muddy, right? Last year... The Big Ten had 4 at-large teams. That ain't going to happen this year. Ain't going to happen this year. This year, the Big Ten will get 2. Indiana and Oregon. USC, Washington, like these teams are kind of in the mix. Michigan just lost a tough one. I think they're out. I just don't see a third at-large in the Big Ten. I don't. I think it's Indiana, and I think it's Oregon, and I think that's it. I think the rest of the at-large is going to go to the SEC. Georgia Tech deserves all your attention. Look at Georgia Tech's schedule. I'll pull this up right now. Look at this. Georgia Tech's schedule is absolute cake the rest of the year. It is a cakewalk. So they smoked Virginia Tech this week. Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt, and they finished with Georgia. Probably going to lose that game to Georgia, although it is in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, so it's not on the road between the hedges. They almost beat Georgia last year, too. Georgia Tech's legit, man. Brent Key is a hell of a coach. Faulkner is Buster Faulkner, OC. Paid him a boatload of money this year. And Haynes King is just a warrior, man. He's not going to be an NFL quarterback, but he's a great college quarterback. Georgia Tech deserves your attention. I think Georgia Tech is going to be a college football playoff team this year. We're going to have no choice. They're going to be 11-1. They're going to be 11-1. And you're not going to penalize a team like we have the precedent here for this, right? SMU last year, 11-1 going into right? Georgia Tech lost that game early. In this case, or excuse me, SMU lost that game early to BYU, and then they ran the table. In this case, Georgia Tech will lose to Georgia probably, and then lose to Miami in the ACC championship game. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Georgia Tech wins that game. But let's say they lose it. I guess maybe losing 2 consecutive games is kind of a black eye, but we have the precedent of an ACC team losing twice, but the second one being an ACC championship game, right? Clemson beat SMU last year in the ACC title. They still put SMU in. So I think Georgia Tech, even if they lose to Miami in a hypothetical ACC championship game, I still think Miami will obviously get in, and Georgia Tech gets in too. Texas Tech, I've had them as my Big 12 champion now, I think, for 4 consecutive weeks. I started them after week 4. So 4 consecutive weeks I've had Texas Tech winning the Big 12. They're odds on to win the Big 12. They're the best team in the Big 12. The Big 12 is a dumpster fire this year. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day in the Big 12. Honestly, it is an absolute dumpster fire. But Texas Tech is the best team in that conference. And I'll be honest, I've got my hands up emoji with the group of 5. I had UNLV. You're not going to believe me, but you scroll back all the way down to my first college football playoff prediction. Here you go, August 22nd. My first college football playoff prediction, I had UNLV as the G5. I guess I got to keep them in, right? Are they the best G5? No, they're not. They're absolutely not. Memphis probably is. Then it's probably South Florida. But those teams keep beating each other, right? Memphis has to play South Florida, I think, in 2 weeks. You know, what if South Florida wins and then, Memphis loses another game later? Like, I think because of the parity in other leagues, UNLV, who keeps winning ugly games, I mean, they needed every second the other day to get past Air Force, but they keep winning. If they go 12-0, and they got a tough game this week. We'll find out how good they are this week. They go to Boise this week. This might be the week where the UNLV train gets derailed. And if that's the case, then I will remove them from the rankings. But they keep winning freaking games, man. And if they keep winning games, I got to keep them in my college football playoff pool. Most likely they will lose. Actually, let's check what the line is in that game. Let's check what the line is in that game. That actually might be a reason to remove them. Is they might be a big dog. Yeah, they're a double-digit dog this week. If they win this week, they're in the college football playoff. I'll say it. If they win this week, they're going to make it to the college football playoff. But it does seem like, at least the market's telling us, that this is going to be the week that UNLV finally gets dethroned. If that's the case, then we probably put Memphis in this spot.